could run into.
Yep, that would be good. I'll send you the dates.
Good, good.
So, all right, guys, I'm on the move.
Okay, Emily.
Bye, Emily. I was thinking before a little while ago that it's one of the things that's so different when we're here together. You know, it's an all male group. I mean, what have we had Christine once upon a time, and maybe Manu. I don't even know, were there any other ladies that have ever joined besides our couple of wives?
Yeah, Dottie and Bonnie.
Dottie and Bonnie, yeah.
Bonnie
Yeah.
and Joan. Joan came on a couple of times.
Came
Oh,
on.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. But it's it's kind of strange being all male.
Well, we can get Karen to come on or something.
There's
Hello,
Rick.
Rick.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Rick, how was Seattle?
Cold. I
Cold?
mean, like Sunday was 48 in the morning. The high every day was only in the mid 50s. It was cold. It was windy and rainy the whole time, but we had a good time.
Whoa.
We went up
That's
to the top, up to Mount Rainier, and went up to in the park there. You can go up 19,000 feet, and then that's as far as you can go because everything else is still snowed under. But that was cold. But it was nice. We enjoyed seeing the Reese.
Good that you got to see your family.
Yeah, because he and his wife, he's gotten married since the last year. They're both in the Army. They're both leaving South Korea in June. Being there for 2 years, so that's why he went to see him. Yeah.
So they're
Mike,
That's
Mike,
Hello, Mike.
How
Yeah.
y'all doing?
Those
Hey, Mike.
guys.
Good.
Hey, it's Snake.
what?
It's Snake. You've been gone for a while.
Oh, not really.
Yeah, he was here last week and the week.
Oh, he was? I didn't think so.
Yeah,
Well,
I missed last
you
week.
expect from a thimble-minded old washboard player.
But, yeah.
Well,
Right,
Chris-
Barry?
Was that
I said, right, Barry?
right?
I'm just trying to get the pictures.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's just running through because I can't get the other computer to work.
Uh-oh. Yeah, wait a minute.
My
Hey,
nephew is graduating
Hey.
from college tomorrow. So there's a lot of people in the house. Well, Chris sent us a lot of videos today and I had them all set up downstairs, but now I can't get them to work because I'm upstairs. I can't get the
That's all
microphone
right.
hey,
downstairs.
LeBeau.
Hey,
Hey,
LeBeau,
Hey, good, I'm glad you came.
what's going on, LeBeau?
Oh, the usual. The car's breaking down. It's too old. Went to get the air conditioning fixed. It's Texas coming up in the summer, and there's no way they can fix it. So, gonna have to get another car.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Where are you living? Where are you living?
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, and
Oh my gosh,
need
yeah.
air conditioning there, don't you?
Gotta have it. Hey,
That's-
hey, by the way, Mike, if you have Charlie Smith's phone number, for some reason the one that I have doesn't work. If you could text it to me.
Yeah, I'll do that here after we get off today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Gee, how'd you end up in Dallas?
Well, my two of our kids moved here, the grandkids were here, and so everybody left LA and moved to Dallas. Been here since 2000 after I quit the cruise ship. And I'm what you call a reluctant Texan.
Gene, do you ever get back to Denver?
Oh yeah, go up there every summer. I'm up there usually about the time of the Evergreen Jazz Festival. I played that from 2001 to 2011. We go up every year. Hopefully I can sit in with some guys or play, but yeah.
Well, let me know when you're in Denver. We'll have a beer.
Well, I don't drink, but thanks for the offer.
Okay.
I've been
Well,
sober now
hey.
32 years, so I'm still here. But
Hey,
thanks for
Snake,
the
do you ever
offer.
go to Evergreen?
Oh yeah, that's where we stay.
No, Snake. Snake, do you go to
Sure.
Evergreen Jazz Festival?
It's been a while, but I used to. I'm not very mobile anymore.
No, neither am I, and Mustache Band's playing it this year, but I won't be doing it.
Yeah, I'm in a wheelchair right now.
Hey, we're still here. That's what I say when I wake up in the morning. You know,
Yeah.
I will open my eyes and, hey, I'm still here. Get another shot.
Beats the alternatives.
Yeah, it does.
So,
Yeah.
so
And that-
LeBeau, this morning when I open up Facebook, you know how they have it says some memories of the past,
Yeah,
memories, and it had a picture of me, you, Danny, and Gentry stand from the American Queen. Said 10 years ago.
Hey,
That's
hold
10
on,
years ago we were doing that.
guys. I'll be right back. I've got a little emergency. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, here's a picture from.
I'm coming.
Got some powder in my eye, and we didn't put my thing in.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a pretty classic one, huh?
How did you get powder in your eye?
Yeah, I think that that's Bruce O'Neill who talked to me last week about coming on, but that's not New Orleans because it's got the rail in front and everybody's sitting down.
No, that's New Orleans.
That is? Okay.
Yeah, it had a rail, and that's before we were standing up. That's Bruce O'Neill, Neil Untersayer on lead banjo player with the hat. Of course, Roger. I'm not sure who's on trombone.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember, it did have a rail. I remember the rail. Yeah. Wow.
It's got a cue with that guy in the bottom left corner, the customer,
Yeah, with
Yeah.
right at the camera.
the mustache.
Yeah. Little bomb.
Roger looks like he's having a good time.
when did Roger not have a good time?
That's right. He always has.
What year was this? I wonder.
Well, I mean, it was before 1971 because they were sitting down.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
69
I
or
don't
something.
think it's pre-1970.
Yeah. 68 or
What-
69. Like that.
You
What is
got
that
Ro-
picture? That picture behind Roger? Citizen. I don't remember that. Whatever it is.
Far fifth.
Citizen Hearth. Your father's mustache. I don't know.
Versus-
That doesn't look familiar. Yeah.
That looks like the square thing looks like it might be a record album cover.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Probably what it is. Yeah.
It is your father's mustache. It's an album cover. I wonder
I
who's
never-
down.
Say what?
Wonder who's down in the lower left there.
That's what.
I know, but he paid 25 cents for a mustache.
I think that's one of the paper ones, isn't it? Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
paper one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
What was paper?
Hey, you know, my memories of the mustache, and I'm sure you all have your own, but one of the raucous ones, of course, was the ones where the waiters would do the strip while the band played Temptation.
Yep.
And I don't know if you know this story, but in Denver, across the street from the mustache was there was a bar downstairs. You remember the name of that bar?
Rathskeller.
Mike? Yeah, the
Rathskeller.
Brad Skeller. And so the band would play, and of course we would take a break while they did the beer chugging contest, you know. And we'd all run over to the Brad Skeller. And one night, for God knows why, back when I was drinking, I ended up throwing down about 4 shots of Southern Comfort.
Wait,
Oh, uh-oh.
And then I went back across the street and saw the beer chugging contest was still going on. So this is what I was told, that I came back in order to double because I didn't have time for 2, and then threw down another double. So then we
Cool.
went back across, and of course, after the beer chugging contest, we've got to play the Colonel Boogie or whatever, da 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 da, in A flat, which was like, first of all, I couldn't play it when I wasn't drunk. But somehow we managed to march back up on the stage, and I leaned back against the piano and passed out standing up.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
And Gentry and the band played for another 20 minutes while I literally stood there standing up. Oh, there we go. And I came to in the middle of a song. I just started playing, and suddenly the band stopped, and everybody was laughing. I had no idea it. I thought I'd closed my eyes for about 10 minutes or less.
Gene, I used to have a picture of, I think it was something like 6 or 8 of us on stage doing the bare ass routine to Temptation. And I loaned it to a guy named Willie Rule, who was a waiter there years ago, and never got it back from him. He was going to have it duplicated, and I never got it back. But there was probably the only known picture in the world of Temptation waiters mooning at the mustache anywhere in the world. I still had that poster.
Well, you know that old saying, never go to the bar you work in on your night off.
Yeah.
And I did that one night wearing my white bell-bottom pants. And somehow I got talked into doing strip with the waiters. And I was on stage right, and when I went to moon the crowd, of course I'd been drinking, I'd been throwing down shots of beer, once a minute, that old cheap way to do it, get a picture. Anyway, I fell off the stage into this lap of this lady, and probably in her 30s. I thought she was old. And she caught me trying to pull my pants up. She says, "Can I take you home?"
The old ladies in New Orleans would love it when we'd be up there dropping our drawers, and we always did it in Mardi Gras. And we always, put like H. You'd have 2 cheeks, HA, next guy P. There was a newspaper picture once that people told me I was in the newspaper, and I kept looking for it, and I couldn't find it, and I realized it was bent over. I sent it to my mother. She was impressed.
The worst thing about that was somebody throw a pitcher of beer on your bare butt or ice water, and the even worse thing was a fire extinguisher, CO2 fire extinguisher. Oh my gosh.
God.
Oh, and the other thing that they used to do a lot was whipped cream.
Oh,
I got all 4 of those, man, at different times. That was miserable.
I remember the Mardi Gras. I was 72.
I remember that Mardi Gras. Well, we've often told the story. Somewhere there's that real early picture of me and Bill and Dennis Condrey and Mike playing on the stage and on Bourbon Street. We were there for Mardi Gras. I think it was one of my first Mardi Gras. And we did the all-night thing. So we had the short stage as opposed to the long room. And across the stage was the bar, and they had the projector booth above the bar. Well, there was a little ladder to go up there. So we're playing away, and we see this beautiful woman crawl up the ladder, and then a bartender crawled up behind her, and he nailed her right there in front of the band. And we're playing, we can't say anything because there was a ongoing, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you got laid in the bar during the week without getting caught, there was a $20 prize.
25, the Keith Yorston Award.
25.
Yeah, what was the name of that award that went with that?
Keith Yorston.
Keith Yorston. Yeah.
There was an award that went with the cast. I forget the name of the award. Does anybody remember that?
I thought it was Keith Yorston.
Oh, okay.
Keith Yorston? Who
Yeah.
was that?
He was the first guy that did it. Will Soto did it.
Yeah. I
Sitting,
was there.
Will did.
That was either 73 or 70,
sitting next
75
to
or
me.
maybe more, but I was there the year he did it at least
Hey,
once.
Jim.
How you doing?
Hey, Gimp.
Hi, Gim.
What's new, guys?
We're just talking about the Keith Yorston Award.
Oh, jeez.
Where you nailed somebody. If you nailed a woman up in the club without getting caught, you won 20.
While the band was playing, we couldn't say anything about it.
Oh, my lord.
We were playing and watching it going.
What shall I say about Will Soto?
Well, I was
Well, he-
sitting
he
at
won it
the
one year. It was-
employees table, and Will's sitting there with a girl on his lap and she had a really long dress on, really heavy, and I was
Oh.
too stupid to realize what they were doing. And he won the Keith Yorston Award. Then he was pissed off because Roger wasn't giving him the money quick enough. And then a couple of weeks later, he told me he'd gotten a clap from it. So
Oh, jeez.
There you go.
Memories,
the what?
memories.
Well, I do remember on Friday when I'd get to the club a little early, and it was FAC. I mean, God knew what went on in FAC because there was all kinds of stuff you walk through and the customers were just they were basically still standing or sitting, but you could tell there was still some stuff going on in the booths. That's before the band even started to play.
You walk in there, it's like walking through Iwo Jima.
Yeah.
And then most of the time, the New Orleans club was cut in half. So you'd have a big room with a bunch of tables and chairs in it, but nobody back there. So you could always slip in there if you had somebody to
Yeah.
go.
I think Barry's got a story about that.
Oh, yeah. I'm home.
Oh. You can't tell that story from home, huh? Danny could tell it if he was here.
The walls have ears. One must be careful. Right?
I'm looking for the funny pictures now.
I mean, one of my other memories, especially in Denver, was the St. Patrick's Day parade
Oh,
with the band on the fire truck and of course kegs of green beer.
yeah, and we used to get the Jefferson County Mounted Sheriff's Department half drunk before its parade started. We'd be driving down the street in that thing during the parade, handing out beer to everybody on the street. Remember that, Gene?
Oh yeah, and I remember when we got to the end in front of the reviewing stand, we'd play Temptation, and one of the waiters would get on the cab,
Yeah.
and moon the.
You remember driving that thing up to Central City? Did you ever go on any of those to Central City, Gene?
Yeah, just going up the canyon of that thing was wild.
Yeah, that was scary because that thing didn't have very good brakes.
That photo of me passed out, that was Saturday night before Mardi Gras. I just got off the stage with Joel. Joel and I played a set together, and I think it was Maynard and all. And as soon as we finished the last song, the next band was coming up, and I fell off the stage into the people. You guys carried me to the back room and laid me on the floor. The cat took care of me.
Yeah, the cat took very good care of you.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, let me see.
You were in
Barry,
training. You were in training for Mardi Gras, right?
That was Mardi Gras. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What
3 days before.
Oh, Saturday night. Okay. Yeah.
and what year was that?
74.
The one cat I remember was the one in Greenwich Village in the New York Club. Remember that cat?
Rhubarb. Rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
Rhubarb had real short front legs.
Yeah, rhubarb.
Yeah, and at night they'd leave him in the basement, come back the next day. There was 3 or 4 big rats that he'd killed, and he had run of the bar, as I recall.
Yes, he did.
And the two in New Orleans were Gretchen and Ludi.
Yeah.
Gretchen and Louie. All right.
Ludi.
Ludi.
Gretchen and Ludi.
Ludi. Okay.
Also, what happened to those 2 cats after Mustache burned down?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
They probably got out okay.
I'm sure they probably did. Yeah. Hope so.
And then there was a story when Mardi Gras, Joel's up on the bandstand. I wasn't on the bandstand, but Peter Vrian, he used to tell a story. He says, we're playing for Mardi Gras, and a big rat runs across the bandstand.
Oh,
And Joel says, fire the cat.
That's big. Bill Higby.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is one of John Gill's pictures that he has, that he sent me. So is this New York then?
That's
think so.
Because Tara's in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's New York.
Jeff's in it back here. John Gill's here. Higby. I don't know the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Higby playing left-handed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked that first summer of 1970. I was with Higby and Barry Rank. That's where I got introduced to everything.
Who's that on the right?
That's a very young John Gill.
Gil.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to place the tuba player. I can't figure out who that is.
Where's the trombone player? Let's see his trombone.
Maybe he went to the bar for a drink. That would be
Huh.
You know, I remember when somebody wanted to buy a round of drinks for the band. Of course, we ordered tequila, and for the band it was Jose Cuervo's tequila, and for the customers it's Jose Gonzalez tequila. But they'd bring them up, and you can't keep playing trombone and throwing down shots
No.
because the slide starts moving a little too slow for your brain. So I would pour my tequila over a glass of ice and just sip it all night. Sipping
Too much
tequila.
work. Too much work.
hey Gene, do you by any chance have any pictures of the mustache in Denver at all? Or the fire truck?
No, I don't, Mike. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I
you know,
don't.
there are very few pictures from the Denver club. There's a lot of pictures from New York and New Orleans, but very few from Denver. And
Yeah, I
I
don't
wish I
have
had
any.
pictures of that fire truck.
Yeah, I don't have any pictures of that. There's that one picture they showed of
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Howdy.
Hey, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
you know.
Sorry to be late, but I'm here.
Hey, Bill, did you get the videos and the pictures from Chris? Because I think they're your stuff. They're videos from the reunion.
Oh, well, yeah, I shot all the things at the reunion to Chris for because I've got stuff from. You talking about the one in New Haven, or in or the 50th?
No, the 50th.
You know, well, maybe he has some that I don't, but I shot some at the 50th. Why Chris sent some to you?
Yeah, so I downloaded them and then they all look like your stuff. So I was up there downstairs. So you guys talk, and I'm going to go back downstairs and try to get him to work. I'll be back.
Okay. All right.
Billy, you tardy, man.
Yeah, we took
Yeah.
a 10.
Well,
We
it's
took a 10. How were you?
I'm like the agent on call all the time with the grandkids, no matter what's happening. So I had to. My daughter lost her car keys and van key, and I had to get the kids from school up to her house. You know, so a lot of times they just stay here, but they couldn't because Bonnie's not here, and I got nobody to watch them while I'm zooming. So, although they have sometimes come running through the office before, but still I was late. But let me see if I can find something to look at while Tom's poking around. Let's see.
Hey, Dave.
I think there's that one classic picture of the Denver Mustache Band in our striped bell-bottom American flag pants,
Ooh, boy.
and you're right down in front. That was the first time we came down to Mardi Gras, and we were trying to make an impression.
I know I've seen the one with the Denver band in Lederhosen.
Yeah, Oh,
Yeah,
this is one I actually.
Talking about, I remember y'all dressing like that. We all laughed at y'all.
yeah.
Said, look at these assholes.
Oh, you are cruel. You are cruel.
That's what we thought.
Well, I want you to look at that picture carefully if you get a chance to, because the only person whose pockets match the stripes in their pants is yours truly.
Mm.
Okay.
Ah,
A little classy touch there, but the red, white striped bell bottoms. Jesus.
I remember being the band leader in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, making out the schedule for musicians. It was a lot of fun because you'd always pick one set where all the Denver guys played, all the New Orleans guys played together, all the New York guys played together. That was fun. But then the rest of the spots, there's 3 spots a day for 5 days. It was mix and match. And putting this person with this person and making sure everybody gets to play with everybody else. That was
Mhm.
quite a job, but it was a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, those things are a lot of fun, always.
Yeah.
What's most remarkable is that will work.
I've got an old video we might want to see just while we're waiting for.
My name's Gene Roof, also known as Gene LeBeau. I'm a trombone player. And I first heard about the mustache through a tuba player named Bill Clark. And Bill, actually Mike Gentry is here. Mike Gentry played tuba at a Shakey's one weekend, and then he got hired at the Mustache. So the manager had promised everybody a tuba player. And they called me up and said, I walked in, and that's where it all started. But I started playing valve trombone, and they let me sneak into the Mustache and play. Of course, I wasn't old enough either. So one night,
Trial labor, Joe, trial labor.
one night they tell me Joel Shimone's coming in. So they let me sneak in the back door, and I played the first set. When I finished the set, one of Joel's managers, I guess, whatever those bodyguards' names were that you carried with you, said, Joel wants to see you downstairs.
That was Joan, wasn't it?
Joel said, I got 2 things to tell you. Number 1, you can't come in here anymore. You're not old enough. It's the only bar in Denver I couldn't go in. Said, number 2, if you learn to play slide trombone, I've got a job for you in New Jersey. So I learned 4 songs. I'm looking over 4-Leaf Clover, Tiger Rag, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey, and the Saints Come Marching In. About 3 minutes later, one of those guys who was at that meeting came into the Shakey's. I saw him. Next thing you know, I get a call from Joel. So he sent me out to Point Pleasant to work with Bill Higbee and Barry. Yeah, I'm a tuba player, a good tuba player. I only know 4 songs in the trombone.
What do you know? It's pretty on the tuba.
He put me on 5 nights a week on trombone. And poor Barry had to play with me in the week, and then he gets to play with Neil DeFeo on the weekends. And Friday night, New York City, with Jeff Alswang, and Saturday night, Lake Compound. How many guys played Lake Compound? Anyway, thanks, Joel. I appreciate it.
That was good.
That was funny.
Good.
Bo, you did good.
How many of you guys played Lake Compounds?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Nice going, Bill.
Jim played it. I didn't get to play that.
Well, you know,
It was quite a place. It is quite a place. Still going.
I would play Friday night in New York and stay over in Jersey City for the night. The next day, you know, we get together and we drive up to Connecticut, get there and one night we're playing, it's a Saturday night with Jeff leading the band, and the place is packed. They've got these real long white wooden tables and benches. And it was time to quit. And there was a whole table full of lumberjacks who didn't want us to quit. And they started pounding on the table. They wanted the band to keep playing. And what are we going to do? And of course, the manager comes. He's telling everybody, "No, the band's got to quit. We got to call the place." They keep pounding on the table, and we thought there was going to be a riot. So finally, quietly, they all got up and basically disassembled the table right in front of us. They just took it apart. Jeff said he was we were lucky to get out of there alive.
My goodness.
But they had a great roller coaster, didn't they, Gim?
It was great. It was a great place. And that old dance hall was just wonderful, I thought.
It was beautiful old dance hall.
You trying to cue something up or something? I'm hearing some kind of background chatter.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's the Russians experimenting with their AI.
Hey,
Oh, look at that.
Hey, all right.
I like John McLaren in his pants.
Yeah. That's why he's in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little Ira looks like Big Ira there. I mean, big Ira.
Yeah, he's
So obviously it was an outside job, but
yeah, it was a benefit for the hospital we did up in New Hampshire. That was the hospital that Joel went to after a skiing accident and had the problem with his skull and all that. They fixed it.
yeah. Okay.
What a good band right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find your other clips, Tommy, or just put some more stuff up here? Let's see. Well, here's an oldie but goodie. We've shown it a few times. From the other unit, from the.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
There's LeBeau playing the slide.
Solar Bone.
Yeah, I'm all the way over on the left, very left, and then Ira Gutman, and then Gentry, and then Barry. Sacco's down there in the blue shirt and the hat.
Oh yeah.
That's Buzzy in the front under Barry, I think.
Yep.
Dennis Condry's all the way over on the right.
Yeah.
Dennis called me a couple of weeks ago. He said to tell y'all hi, and I tried to talk him into coming on here. He said he'll see if he can get around to it one of these days and try, but no guarantees. But he said to say howdy to everybody.
And that's Bill Clark on the tuba. And me and Dennis Condry is to my left. The Barry Ranks right in front of me.
Gene,
And
how
there's-
did you get a vest for that night? You and Joel are the only ones with vests.
It was one that I'd kept, and I could still wear it at that time. I don't know where I got the hat.
Who's the washboard player dead center with the big mustache on?
That's Babcock.
That is?
That is Babcock. That's his own mustache.
Okay.
But that's his washboard, definitely.
Okay. Looks like it combed out kind of funny. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a phony clip-on mustache, but it very well could have been. But
yeah,
he used to have a big, huge black mustache when his hair was black and when he still had hair.
Yeah. And who's the lady banjo player? Second from the right on the bottom.
Joan.
Oh, that's Joan. Okay.
With black hair?
Maybe not.
Well, that's what fooled me. I said it must be Joan, but then I said black hair can't be Joan, and I can't figure out who the hell that was. There was only two that I remember. Then there was Joan, and there was Penny Clark, and those were the only two that ever played in the club that I remember.
Cynthia Sayer played the club.
Cynthia Sayer, yes, that came after my time, but I know her very well. But tell her everything she knows, but she wouldn't admit it.
Yeah. see. I don't see Mr. Kinnaman today, but I've got an old story. Well, this was from the New Haven reunion we just did. The two Iras gave a little story about their connection to the mustache. I thought was pretty good. Let me see if I can get it up here. I know we've put it on before, but
Hey,
Ira.
Ira,
Hey,
there's Ira.
guys.
speaking of Ira right there, okay.
Speaking of Ira,
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
It's Ira Dector time.
uh-oh.
Here
Hi,
it is.
Ira.
Hey, Mike, I like your car.
Hey, thank you. My parents bought that in 59. They still have it.
Cheer
and applaud. Here we go.
Cheer and applaud. Yay!
Well, there's a first.
Terrible coincidence. Oh, there's a better one, Mike.
Now we're used to that.
Be a hell of a coincidence if you guys knew each other since kindergarten.
Now that you mention it, tell them the story how we met.
I was on his porch and I saw the mailbox, so I took the mail out of the mailbox because I liked mail.
So I caught him stealing the mail.
No, your grandmother.
My
caught
grandmother caught you stealing the mail,
Right.
and I said, I got to be friends with this guy. he knows things. And we were friends ever since.
That's a true story.
It's the truth. And there begins the career of Bonnie and Clyde of the Iras. Bonnie and Clyde, yes.
And then the two Iras co-managed the New York club.
Into extinction.
Yeah, into extinction.
with Barry.
I was around there and I couldn't figure it out. Big Ira and little Ira and all that. I was trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out.
We're still trying to figure it
Yeah,
out.
so are we.
Don't worry. Yeah.
So are we.
How did the mustache change your life?
You've got to be
Shitting.
in the words of Russell Adams.
Yeah. Yep.
My guy, once a washboard player, the tag stays with you for life, even if you don't touch the washboard. You walk down the street, you hear people whispering, washboard player, and that's it.
That's what Joe used to say when he saw a bum on the street. He said, "There's a washboard
The
player."
old washboard player used to play in the Boston Club.
All right. Anything you want to tell Joel on his final performance?
Just thank you for Jesus Christ, how many years? It's an amazing journey. I don't know.
Years? Yeah, probably 52 years.
Over 50 years. What other group of people bond like that and 52 years come back to see each other? I can't believe we want to see each other.
Can't believe we're all still here.
Yeah, well, we're not all, but a lot of us. But we want to see each other, and we're here. And it's all Daddy Joel. Somehow he put together this miraculous crew of ne'er-do-wells.
And if the clubs didn't close, we'd probably still be there.
Yes,
I'm sure.
We'd be a bunch of 75-year-olds banging hats.
Hanging hats and trying to lift the keg up.
And trying to climb up onto the bar to do a bar song, only to keep falling down. That would be our lives.
Surrender with trampolines.
But that's it. Thanks, Joel.
Thank you.
There we go.
Ira,
Memories.
what happened?
That was good.
It was fun seeing both Iras together because I had never met little Ira. I had seen you on the Zooms a long time, Ira, but I hadn't seen
Yeah, he doesn't come on the Zoom calls. He's like a Danny Rubio. It's not his thing.
So
He's really funny.
when I went up to New York to lead the band up there, the first night I was greeted by the two Iras. They took me out to dinner with Danny Rubio. You remember that, Ira?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, I got two new bosses, both of them named Ira. And what's the chances of that?
You were with Danny, right?
Yeah, me and Danny.
Right.
Showed up and y'all took us to some little like Spanish restaurant.
Oh, probably Sevilla.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
my Lord, look at that. You were never that young, Ira.
Oh, that's the Connecticut reunion. That was 87.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I try to get him to come on the Zoom calls, but it's just not his thing.
You know, I've got a New York story because I only work there once a week on Friday nights. You know, I do 5 nights in New Jersey, Friday night, New York, Saturday night in Connecticut, then drive back to New Jersey and do the whole thing again. And one time with Jeff Allswang, the band was supposed to play on the Staten Island ferry for the UN Youth Council. And I know we probably had, well, McClernand was on there for sure, but we went out and played. And of course, it was all these young international people. And we're on this ferry, and there's a group of young Russian guys standing near us, singing the lyrics to every song we played. Everybody else was ignoring us completely. And we're just playing away. And these Russian guys, in English, they're singing the song. Anyway, we get back, and we drive back to 7th Avenue and 10th Street area. And it happens to be a gay liberation stand-in or whatever. And there's a couple guys on every corner. And we pull into this parking lot. Of course, you know, a parking place, and you know what it's like to try to park in New York. And there's this huge monster of a black man, obviously gay, standing there by the meter, you know. And before we get out of the bar or out of the car, Jeff says, "Don't anybody mention the word gay. Don't say anything about that. This guy will tear you apart." Because they had their headquarters just down the street from the Mustache, next to Bella Abzug's place. But yeah, it was a very wild night, as I recall.
Oh, look at that crew.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Nice.
Right after the Carnegie performance.
Yeah.
Good looking bunch.
What is that's some groomed mustaches that Barry and Gentry had on.
Yeah. String ties, garters on, clean vests. Wow.
Clean white shirts, clean
Yeah.
white pants. That's unheard of. That's a inaccurate of what we did.
And we've got pictures to prove it.
You know, I remember one other memory of New York. We were playing one night, and we were getting near, you know, late. And this guy comes in with a cowboy hat, the whole cowboy outfit, just really nice looking and everything. He's got this blonde with him, and he's got a couple of silver 6 guns. And of course, you assume that they're just, you know, costume or whatever. And the band's getting ready to quit. And he comes up and he lays $100 bill on the stage. He said, "Keep playing. I want you to keep playing." So we play a little bit more. Then it's time to quit. Another $100 bill on the. He says, "I want you to keep playing." And of course, I'm trying to remember who maybe it was one of you Iras that was the manager, came over and told this guy, "No, we've got to close the club." And he said, "No, I'm buying it. We're keeping it open." He said, "No, we got to close the club." And I'm standing on stage and I wonder what are we gonna do. And he takes one of the waiters and he grabs him and he puts a gun next to his head and he said, "You're gonna keep it open." And within 5 seconds, there were 10 police cars outside. And they got this guy down. Those are real.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
They had him on the ground, handcuffed. It was a Friday night, but yeah, I remember it because I was standing on the stage just, you know, what do we do now?
Well, I've got another one. I think Ira might have been there. It's in the New York club. It was time to close. We said, "Last call for alcohol. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here," and all that shit. And some big Marine was sitting out there with a pitcher 3/4 full of beer. And he's taking his time drinking. We said, "Last call for alcohol," and the waiters are starting to stack the chairs and dump the ashtrays. "You got to go home. You can't stay here. We got to close." And he was getting pissed off. So then Tim Shea. You
I
remember
remember that.
Yeah.
Remember this, Ira? Tim Shea
Yeah.
over there says to this big Marine says, "Say, asshole, you got to fucking go." And the Marine stood up and punched punched Tim Shea right in the face and knocked him out. One punch.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
Well, we had
some
two
people can't
guys
take
from
one answer, huh?
Mississippi
Yeah.
in the club one night, and it got to be really late, and they wouldn't leave, and they wouldn't leave. And you know, Bourbon Street was closed off for most of the night, but it opened up about 2:00. And Kent McBride got so pissed off at this one guy that he picked him up and he threw him out the door. And you heard the brakes squeal.
Hit a car, didn't you?
And Kent turns around and goes, "Oh fuck, they've opened up the street."
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I remember that because I was working bar that night and I got written up in the paper as the guy who did it for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, that I don't know. It's like, anybody looked at me, no, I couldn't throw anybody 12 feet from the front door. to the street.
Unwarranted credit.
I remember that, Tom. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was unreal.
I mean,
Tells
Kent
them
was
have to
upset.
run. See y'all next week. Good to see everybody.
Okay, Rick, good to see you
Bye,
again.
Rick.
Take care, Rick.
take care,
Here's a
Rick.
New York picture for you. It was from the mustache nose.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Joe Terra.
Oh, that's typical Joe.
And whose shot of that is it? Like sort of a butt shot with a banjo.
I don't recognize it from the angle.
They must have been playing "Shine on Harvest Moon" or something. Huh?
Oh, jeez. Oh. Grown.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Lordy.
How many of you guys played Point Pleasant? Anybody?
Not
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Point Pleasant Club.
No,
I played it a few times, not many. I kind of went down.
Okay. Well, it was kind of a long club, and they had the stage down at one end, and there were these really long tables. And when you got off the stage, the only way to go was like between the people walking on these tables. So you couldn't go out the side or anything. And of course, that was the summer I was playing there, and I couldn't drink because I wasn't old enough.
No.
But these two women came in every week, and for some reason they took a shine to me. I was this little 20-year-old guy, and they were phys ed teachers or something. And I mean, if they got anywhere near me, they would literally pick me up and put me on their lap and wouldn't let me go for the whole break. I was having to try to figure out how the hell do I get from the stage to the door to go outside.
Heard of employment benefits. Employment benefits. There you go.
Mm. Yeah.
Funny.
It's like they didn't have iPhones back then, huh?
Nah,
Not back then.
Yeah,
they didn't even have portable phones back then.
that's true.
That's true. That's
Hey,
true.
Kim, how many years was Point Pleasant open?
That I don't know, but I know myself and little Ira went and closed it. We closed it.
What year did you close it?
Shit, I don't remember, 72, 73, somewhere around there.
See,
I don't know how long it was open.
I did Cape Cod, and that was fun.
Roger would know. There was also one in Summers Point, which I was never at.
That was a zoo. That one. Summers Point was the zoo. It really was.
Okay, who can name everybody in that picture?
I can name Bruce Wilson and Roger and Fred.
That was year 2 on Cape Cod.
Yeah,
I was there year 1. Year 2 was that's when Roger took over.
and Joel, but the rest of them on the top, I can't really say who they are.
That was Cape Cod.
That's,
Cape-
that's what my notes say. Yeah.
Cape Cod year 2. Yeah, Cape Cod year 2. That would be 64. 60. I was there in 63.
61 years ago.
Good God, don't remind me.
Now, this isn't really a mustache picture, but Ed Ali and Karen were good friends of Bonnie and I, and we used to hang out a lot. So I had a picture of them just at our house But so so many people, we don't get a chance to see their picture. Let's see. Here we go. I'm not doing it right. Sorry, guys. Let me do it right. If I can find it again. Nope. I'll get it. Just take me a second.
Ed Ellie, he was the last manager of the New Orleans club. The manager when it burned down, so he's got the credit of hiring the janitor that burned the club down.
Ken McBride always has always said that he's the guy that hired that guy, the janitor that burned the club down.
Ken McBride takes credit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And that was Lucian's son, the regular. board.
Yeah, I think it wasn't the janitor, it was the janitor's son, I think, that burned it down. Well, that was Karen and
They
Ed.
hired him to take Lucian's place for a weekend or something.
Ed was an assistant. Ed began working there after I did, but he was an assistant manager when I retired, when I left. And Karen, I knew her since high school. Well, I knew her since like grammar school, and all through high school too. I actually took her to my junior prom. So,
Who's the manager before Ed? I'm thinking the early 70s.
That was David. David, he's on.
I was there. Yeah,
Oh,
Ed
you were
came
here,
on
David,
while I was
for
there.
what years?
Oh, geez. I didn't, Barry, do you remember? No, I think it was like manager 73 and 4.
72 to 74.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was assistant for a while and then manager. So.
here's another blast from the past that wasn't really a mustache picture, but
That's a band we had called the Lick Skillet Band. There's all guys from the Mustache, but me and Lance Acker on sax and Ted Turner and H. I think that was at a Shakey's or something somewhere.
Are you sure that wasn't the Rathskeller up in Georgetown?
The Red, you mean? Well, I don't know. It
The
might
Red
have been,
Ram,
but
or
after the Mustache closed, we kept the band going. We played at the Red Ram in Georgetown for years after
that's
skiing.
a-
But I think this was I don't remember where it was. Ted Turner might remember, but that had to be sometime around 1974, 75.
I like the matching shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Ted Turner next to
Yes. Yeah.
in the
It's
middle, the shorter one?
left to right, it's me and Lance Acker, who's still playing around Denver, and Ted Turner and Harold Johnson.
Yeah.
Who's
I'm
on
sure that
tuba?
was a Shaky somewhere.
Ted Turner came to New York for a while.
Yeah. He's still playing around Colorado.
Who's on tuba?
Oh, that was Dane Calkins. I didn't even see him back there. Dane played at the Mustache for a short period of time in Larimer Square before it closed. And he lives over in Grand Junction now, but is moving back to Denver. I still see him and talk to him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
what do you call
The
it?
Lick Skillet Band, named after a little canyon up somewhere in the Rocky Mountains around Evergreen, or not around Evergreen, around Berthoud or Longmont, somewhere around there.
What exactly is that instrument called? It doesn't look like a standard tuba. So
Oh, it's just a regular tuba.
it is okay. It's just
Not a
skinny.
sousaphone type, but those tubas with the bells that go straight up. They made a lot of them in different configurations and
Okay.
and stuff. But that's just a pretty standard tuba.
Yeah. You just wouldn't want to play that in the rain.
LeBeau would know more about
Really?
that than I would because he was a tuba player.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Now the New Orleans band, once the club burned down, I can say that the band 2 nights later was playing at Fritzl's. After it burned down, then Kent went on with Hula Hands on Bourbon Street, and our band, he got us a job there. We stayed there for about 4 years.
What?
It was a great job because they only wanted us for weeknights, not weekends.
Oh,
So we were there 5 nights a week, but off Friday and Saturday night, which was wonderful because then you could do, you had your weekend off or you could book other jobs.
Right.
So we did that. And the change we made, we did a mustache fair. It was the same medleys and all, but we got Banu to play side banjo. And
Good
Banu
move.
played side banjo, and she did very well with it, but we featured her two times a set with 2 or 3 songs, and the people ate that up.
Hmm.
And they ate that up. So we stayed there for about 4 years. That was a great job. So when the mustache burned down, we didn't lack for work. That was pretty good.
Kent came to Colorado in '77 to open a Houlihan's. And has been here ever since for the most part.
Yeah, Kent got on at Houlihan's, and apparently they were impressed with him because he got a lot of authority real quick.
Yeah, that's how he got to Colorado, Houlihan's.
You know,
That's Connecticut? No,
Now that looks like an outside job for a
yeah,
baseball.
that's not
Yes,
Connecticut.
I don't know.
Probably.
Here's Jeff on the right.
Yep.
Billy Herbert in the middle.
Yeah.
Billy Herbert, Joel, Christine.
Who's the girl between Jeff and Billy Herbert?
I don't know.
Banu?
It is Banu, huh?
Is it?
Yeah, Banu with a blonde wig on.
Uh-huh.
who's on the trombone?
That's Christine.
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 Yeah.
I never met her.
Christine Bendinger.
She was on a Zoom once or twice.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Huh?
Huh. You know, my interesting story about the mustache burning down was in 1975. I met my wife here in Denver. She wasn't my wife. She was getting a divorce from her second husband. But for some reason, we decided to take a trip together. I wanted to go to Nashville to the Trombone Symposium. And she had been a studio singer in Memphis, so we basically took off in my rainbow painted Volkswagen and went to Memphis and then Nashville, and then we went to New Orleans. And she'd never been to Your Father's Mustache before because the one in Denver had closed. So I took her to the Mustache in Denver, and Wes Mix was there, and introduced her to Wes. We stayed the night with Wes. And the next day we took off for Colorado. And on the way there, the car broke down in Laplace, old Volkswagen. So somehow I jury-rigged to drive back to New Orleans. We had it fixed, and then we drove to Denver. There's a whole story about that trip. We got outside of Opelousas in the middle of this horrendous rainstorm, and the car quit again. I mean, it's just raining like crazy, and out of nowhere comes a tow truck. And he tows us to Opelousas, which has got the only Volkswagen dealership in Louisiana.
Jesus.
And they, this is our introduction to each other. So it turns out that they sold us a used engine out of another car for $125 so we get back to Denver. Well, long story short, we told Wes, if you've ever got a little time, come on up to Denver, because I had a band up in Denver, the Solar Energy Band. And so he got a break and he came up to Denver, and while he was in Denver, the Mustache burned down. So that's why Wes moved up to Denver.
Hey, Gene, that's how I found out that the Mustache in New Orleans had burned down. I wandered into the Bull and Bush one Sunday night to hear all you guys playing, and Wes was there, and he told me that he had gotten a call from, I believe it was Peter Vrianides that day, that the Mustache had burned down. That was 1975?
75.
Yeah.
July
Is Wes still alive?
I don't think so. I haven't been able to find out for sure. Barry mentioned sometime last year that he thought he had heard Wes passed away, and if you go on Wes's Facebook page, which is still out there, and go back to 2017, there's some things on there from his sister to one of his sons about him having a lot of problems. So I don't think he's alive, but I haven't been able to confirm it.
The last time I saw him, Mike, we were at the Bullen Bush when one of the two brothers was in the hospital dying of cancer.
Yeah,
The
that
two
was Dale.
brothers who owned it. Yeah. And we were setting up the band and Wes came up to say hi. Of course, he didn't look too good, a beard and all that. I barely recognized him, but that's the last time I saw him, and I forgot what year that was. It must have been around, what, 2017 maybe?
Yeah, he was having a lot of problems in 2017, so it could have been 2017 or maybe a little bit before, but I don't remember the last time I saw him, but it was at my house in Parker when I lived out there, and he had just gotten really quite mean. He was always such a really talented guy on so many different instruments and a great front man, but he had just turned mean and was just bad mouthing people everywhere.
That's his story. A wonderful musician, but couldn't
Yeah.
help.
I'm gonna have to bug out a little right now because I've actually got to go visit, babysit another grandchild today. So I'm
Are we
gonna.
on next week?
No, next week I have to, I'm working, so I can't do it.
If
So
you could
no
set,
Zoom call next week.
No Zoom call next week.
I'll see you next week. Okay.
I'm
okay.
so
Sorry
glad
about
to
that.
see all
I'll
you
send you a
guys.
note not to be here.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
okay.
Gene, everybody. Gene,
All
check
right.
your
Everyone, good seeing you,
Hey.
Jeff.
I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks,
Take care.
September 23rd.
check